Hello and welcome.
The call.
Hello and welcome to 1320 KLZY, the Sports Issue. I'm Jason Groth.
Hey, and I'm Toivo.
I can tell, working some new kinks out here early going. We'll get those figured out.
It's the inaugural, folks. You're listening to the first episode of this,
and it should be very exciting. We have an exciting guest on hand today. Grand Rapids Athletic Activities Director Ann Campbell will be in. They had kind of a big announcement yesterday.
Just a little bit. I think the entire state was watching that, in the sports world anyway.
And they named John Rothstein the new boys hockey head coach. We'll have an interview from him that aired yesterday. We'll make sure to have that. We'll have that for you today as well.
And, that kind of was a little bit of a no-brainer, I think. But, you still have to go through the whole process of hiring somebody and everything else. But it made sense. He was with the team last year as assistant coach. And it just made sense. So congratulations to Coach Rothstein and good luck in the 13-14 season.
It should be exciting. He's definitely fired up for it. We'll have a lot from him throughout the day. We'll also have, like I said, Activities Director Ann Campbell. It's a very exciting time this time of year. Football kicked off in earnest a little bit last night with the 0-week games throughout the state. Nothing really up north. Teams up north now really getting ready to scrimmage. We know Grand Rapids is heading on the road today. Little Falls, they're scrimmaging there today. Their season opener is on Thursday night. Should be an exciting one against Bemidji. And it's been kind of an interesting rivalry of late between Grand Rapids and Bemidji. Bemidji's kind of ended Grand Rapids' season a few times, so Grand Rapids looking to try to get some revenge there Thursday night, the home opener at Noble Hall.
Well, and got to give a little shout-out to the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks on their way down to Little Falls right now. I know they're listening in. And in particular, Coach Bill Kinnunen, of course.
Well, I know he's fired up because he had his fantasy football draft last night.
I think you did too, didn't you?
Yeah, partially, I'd say. You know how that goes.
Well, it's that time of year. Fantasy football is on tap. I got my draft on Sunday, so we'll see how that goes.
See, I'm not really too happy right now. I mean, our team is okay. I think we're pretty good. You know, you always have that feeling you come out of a draft that you feel pretty good about your team. But the reason that bugs me is the Viking to Packer ratio is off kilter for my team.
Well, it's your problem, not mine.
Well, and Doc Sewellers, that's my co-owner. We co-own the team. We had some interesting picks last night. We got Kyle Rudolph in the 4th round. A lot of people thought that was a little early.
I think that's a little early. But, yeah,
it's a 14-team draft.
Kyle Rudolph is not bad. I mean, that'll probably serve to be help you out.
Well, I think it will, too. I mean, who else is Ponder going to throw to?
Well, this is true.
I mean, he does have Greg Jennings.
He does. Well, he has the very boisterous Greg Jennings as of late.
Yes, and guess who's on my fantasy football team as well?
Well, it's because you.
It's a tradition.
It's because you're in love with him, Jason.
No, I'm still not too happy with the fact that he bailed on the Packers to come across the border and then decides to attack Aaron Rodgers like he has in the media.
Well, it happens all the time, Jason.
But an exciting night. Speaking of the Packers, things didn't go too well for them last night.
Quinn under center. Takes it, he backpedals, 5-step drop. Quinn winds up, rainbows deep down the left side for Stephen Williams, and it is caught by Williams. He took it away from the defender. Touchdown. Left corner of the end zone. Took it away from Lois Means, who had perfect position on the play.
That was the great Wayne Larrabee with the call. The Packers suffer a loss last night, 17-10. Big thing to note in that game, DeJuan Harris, starting running back, got hurt in that game, hurt his knee.
Well, it might as well. I mean, it's been the Packers' kind of call to duty there is having hurt running backs all of last year. No running game, no running presence whatsoever, and they might as well just continue the tradition this year.
Well, I think that'll turn around and open things up for Eddie Lacy. I know one of our guys drafted DeJuan Harris, and it's kind of nice to pull it up on the iPad and say, oh, he's gone. He got hurt. So, but anyway, last night, an exciting night. Grand Rapids sports kicked off. The volleyball season kicked off in a big way for them. They throttled Duluth East 25-10, 25-5, and 25-20. Just a big night overall for Grand Rapids, and a great way to start the season for them.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by it a little bit just because, Duluth East has always had a good team, as well as Rapids. They've had great volleyball teams over the years. But, I mean, to win 3-0, that was great. Nice job, and congratulations to the ladies. Way to kick off the season.
In that game, Becca Morris had 3 ace serves, 6 kills. Anna York, 5 blocks. Maddie Coide had a strong night with 6 digs, 4 ace serves. Cindy Matson all over the court, 22 set assists, 6 ace serves. So that service game was definitely on for Grand Rapids. That'll be a key. They got an exciting schedule coming up this year. I know they play Hibbing. They also have Greenway a couple of times, and then you got that IRC tournament, which is always an exciting one.
Oh, yeah, this will be a great season for the ladies. Way to kick it off. Start off with a nice win over Duluth East.
Well, we're getting excited here at KLZY as well as KMFY. We got our football schedule coming up, and we have a very busy opening week lined up for you. Starting on Thursday night, Grand Rapids and Bemidji at the Noble Hall Field. That should be a very exciting contest. What a great way to kick it off. Hopefully get some great weather. Forecast, looking that ahead, looks like it should be pretty nice on that Thursday night.
Yeah, it should be a great night for football. I'll be on the call with Deer River, and it should be a great night. I'm excited. I can't wait. Football season is upon us, and what more can you say?
Well, also on that Thursday, we'll have Floodwood versus Nevis. That's the one you'll be at with Joe Gigliotti on Thursday at 7 o'clock in Floodwood. Should be an exciting battle there. Then on Friday, it's Greenway Nashwauk Keewatin taking on Deer River. Should be a fun, unique game, especially with those local rivalries. But I was talking to G&K head coach Bob Schwartz earlier in the week. They're kind of very young this year. They don't have much experience coming back, so then they open up with a tough test in Deer River, who's kind of in that same spot.
Yeah, this season is going to be a little bit of a rebuilding season kind of for Deer River, seeing some new fresh faces. But no matter what, that team always comes to play. It seems like the community just rallies around that football team, and I think they'll be ready to go for this 2013 season.
Well, it's going to be an exciting contest. It's ones that we always look forward to. We're going to kick that off with Thursday and Friday football, and throughout the year we'll have some great games. I think some other games that we're looking forward to, that Grand Rapids-Moorhead game should be a very exciting one in Moorhead. Deer River's got a few exciting ones. Deer River, Moose Lake, Willow River. For some reason, you always look at Moose Lake, Willow River. No matter what year it is, they're the team to beat. You always circle them on your calendar, and it's always entertaining to see them play.
And they are men amongst boys. Seeing them play against some of these smaller local teams, I tell you what, they are a well-oiled machine. They have lots of studs, lots of athletes down there, and they're always ready to play. And they've done very well, had a lot of success over the years with that program. Our
Thursday night slate, again, as I said, it's Grand Rapids and Bemidji on KLZY, Floodwood versus Nevis on KMFY. Other games in the area going on that Thursday night. Northland is at Cromwell. Itasca kicks off their new season. They got a new head coach there. They'll take on Ridgewater on the road. Then on Friday night, another busy night will be G&K versus Deer River on 96.9 KMFY. Other games going on in the area. Big Fork will take on Southridge at Southridge, and Hill City will square off with Isle at home. Again, throughout the year, we look forward to bringing many coaches in different sports. In fact, next week we have the Greenway Nashwauk Keewatin Titan cross-country running coach Will Florsheim coming in. They're getting ready. They're hosting a huge event coming up next week, I believe, or the following week, I should say, where they're going to bring about 18 teams into the Eagle Ridge Golf Course. So that's going to be an exciting event for them. So we'll have many different things to look forward to throughout this year on the sports issue.
Well, and you also got to mention the Gophers kicking off their season against UNLV. We'll actually have that on KLZY. I believe it'll be taped AA after the Thunderhawks play against Bemidji that night. So Golden Gophers looking for a new exciting season. Jerry Killback once again bringing his Gophers on the field. Hopefully with a little bit better results this year.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting. They named Philip Nelson starting quarterback, which I think was a great move. I think it's one of those moves they kind of obviously had to make after last year with the fact that they, I thought, wasted his red shirt.
Well, they brought him on early, and a lot of it was because of injuries. I mean, whether you agree with the decision or not, I mean, they had to do something last year because their season was looking to be going down the tanks with no starting quarterbacks, and they just happened to bring him into the mix along with Marquise Gray at the end of the season.
It'll be interesting. We'll take a quick little break here, and we'll come back. We'll be joined in a tape-recorded interview with Grand Rapids hockey head coach John Rothstein on here on the Sports Issue on 1320 KLZY. Welcome back to the Sports Issue. I'm Jason Groth.
And I'm Toivo.
And we welcome you to the studio. It's a very exciting week. Grand Rapids Sports made a big announcement yesterday that it named Grand Rapids High School hockey boys coach John Rothstein, named him yesterday. So we had a chance to talk with him earlier yesterday, and we'll hear what he had to say right here. Now joined by new Grand Rapids boys hockey head coach John Rothstein. And first of all, congratulations on the new job.
Well, thank you, Jason.
An exciting experience for you, an opportunity for you. Talk a little about that.
Well, I am awful excited. I enjoyed last year coaching with Coach LaRock a great deal, and I'm really looking forward to returning and coaching, and this year I guess as head coach. So I am very excited about it.
The opportunity to come back and be the head coach of a program that you were a big part of, what's that mean to you?
Well, it's meant such a big part of me, Grand Rapids hockey, from a player back, 40 years ago, 40, 50 years ago or whatever, and now being able to come back as a high school coach and give back to the program means a great deal to me.
Some of the thoughts that was on your mind, the decision that led to you applying?
Well, I had wrestled with it. I discussed it with my wife, and she was very supportive. And I guess Grand Rapids hockey, all of Grand Rapids, not only high school programs, has given me so much. And if I'm able to give back and be a benefit or an asset to the program, I'm excited to do it. And hopefully it'll be that way. We'll feel that way in a year or two also.
Unique job. It's a fun one for you. You have a chance to come back and coach in the community and the program that you played for. Let's talk about that opportunity, that type of thing, and what it means.
Well, just being a player and having such a great fan base in Grand Rapids, wherever we go in the state, I don't think there's a better fan base throughout the state than there is in Grand Rapids. And having that as a player in the 1970s, it meant a lot. And I was fortunate to play on some very good teams with some very good teammates. And now being able to come back and kind of be the coach gives me a chance, I guess, to continue with that, where you're usually just in the stands watching. Now I get to be a participant, I guess. And so I'm awful excited to be able to coach these young men and hopefully develop them as individuals along with hockey players.
Now, what are some things fans can expect to see from your teams?
Well, I'm not a big X's and O's, and so hopefully it'll be a little more free-flowing skating. They'll be in good shape, I can assure you of that. But let them use some of their hockey sense, and so it isn't a real tight checking game, although I think that is important. But more of a skating game, I guess, and so it'd probably be a 4-2 or 5-3 game rather than a 2-1 game, I guess is what I'd expect.
Well, you've had the opportunity to play at UMD, play with a lot of different coaches, and work with a lot of different people. Is there a lot of things you can draw from those experiences?
Absolutely. I think every coach is kind of a product of all the coaches they've had and some of the players they've played with. And I've been so fortunate to have some very, very good coaches. And you take a little bit from each of them, and you hopefully kind of meld it together to make yourself, as good, or not necessarily as good, but your own coaching style. So you don't necessarily copy somebody else's. You just want to find your own, but it's usually a combination of all the coaches you've had, or at least that's what I found.
I know the decision just came down today that it's been official. Has there been any thoughts on potential assistant coaches?
We're kind of in the process, and I've discussed a little bit with some of them. That final decision lies with the high school. And so I guess until that time, they would put the final stamp of approval, obviously with my input. And so as of right now, no final decisions are made.
And did that experience last year helping as assistant coach really kind of help the itch again to become a head coach again at the high school level?
It did. I guess I've always been a head coach when I have coached. And so it was a little different being the assistant, but I sure enjoyed working with Bruce. And it did give me, the enthusiasm to get back in the game, and particularly with this level player, the high school age player. I enjoy that age athlete and working with them. And so, yes, it really did play a pretty big role.
Your experience with a lot of kids in the Grand Rapids program throughout the years, did that help too as well?
Yes, I think so. I understand the program pretty well. And so how do we improve on that? And they've done a nice job, and we'll just continue to keep tweaking, trying to make improvements as you would with any team or any organization.
All right, John, is there anything else you'd like to add at all?
No, I'm just, I really am excited. I guess I've already said that, Jason, and looking forward to working with all the people in Grand Rapids, and look forward to some exciting hockey.
All right, thank you very much, John, and congratulations.
Okay. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Once again, that was new Grand Rapids hockey head coach John Rossi. I'd like to thank him for stopping by and talking to us throughout the week. A very exciting day it was yesterday for the Grand Rapids boys hockey program.
Yeah, congratulations once again to him. What a class act, and I think he'll do well as a coach here in Grand Rapids. Last year, like I said, assistant coach, the move was made sense to go with him, but like we've said, he had to go through the process and do everything. But it's going to be exciting to see him behind the bench for the Thunderhawks on the hockey season this year.
I'm telling you, he's definitely excited. It was nice to talk to him. Great to talk to him about that. And the hire has been a very busy kind of off season for the Grand Rapids High School, as well as they get ready to starting last night with a lot of the big sports last night. And we'll have a chance after this time out to talk with Grand Rapids Activities Director Ann Campbell right here as you're listening to the Sports Issue on 1320 KLZY. Well, welcome back to the KLZY Newsroom and the Sports Issue. I'm Jason Grohl with John Toivo, now joined by Grand Rapids Activities Director Ann Campbell. And Ann, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you here. It's been a very exciting and busy time, I'm sure, for you. Yesterday, the big announcement, the new Grand Rapids boys hockey head coach, John Rossi.
We have so much going on right now as fall sports start, and we're very excited to have John Rothstein as our next head boys hockey coach. John obviously brings a wealth of knowledge and the experience that we're looking for in this transition from Coach LaRock to the new coach.
You mentioned that the process took place, the interview process and everything about that. Just talk about the process you had to go through that you're allowed to talk about to selecting the new coach.
Well, anytime we have an opening in a coaching position, we obviously work through our HR department, and it has to be posted for 10 days. And they post it locally and Star Tribune and internet and all over. And then I had a committee, a very strong committee, that we sat down, looked at applications and applicants, and then we selected our a top four to bring in, and brought four in, great candidates, quality people, and the committee chose to go with John.
How many candidates did you actually have from outside the area? I know there's probably a lot of interest inside the area, but maybe outside the area, did you have any interest from the cities, Duluth, anywhere like that?
We did have a couple from outside of Grand Rapids, but you have to remember that this coaching job is a part-time job, and there was not another job to go along with it because we're so late into the summer and the start of the school year is around the corner. So hockey, any coaching job is just a part-time salary with full-time hours and our responsibilities with it. So maybe if we had posted it earlier and we had maybe a teaching position with it, maybe we would have had more applicants.
And John Rossi, a great choice, has been a big impact in the Grand Rapids hockey community and a big role. What do you think he can help as on the bench?
I learn more about John every single day. I did not know that he was ranked in the top 100 all-time Minnesota hockey players. And of course, that's not why we hired him. We hired him because he was certainly the best person for the job. He also, I'm hearing that he was the best right winger to come out of Grand Rapids. And John played at UMD, and then he spent some time at Notre Dame too, getting his MBA degree and coaching out there. So John has had the opportunity to play with some great players and work and play for some great coaches.
And also another hire that you guys had to make this year, girls basketball, a new head coach, Chris Hamlin, taking over.
Yep, Chris has taken over for Coach Dave Lacoe, who found another job in another district. So we wish him well. Chris is another product of Grand Rapids High School. She played basketball and then went on to play basketball for ICC and had been a head coach over at NK for a while. And so with her experience, we felt like her having previous head coaching experience and being in the program as the 9th grade coach made her a great choice for our program.
I'm sure this time of year is just hectic. Yesterday, for example, you had the girls swimming meet, volleyball, you also had girls soccer going on, so with everything getting ready in the full gear.
Absolutely. We have over 400 students that have signed up for some type of activity. We had girls soccer open up at home last night against defending state champion Wyzetta. We had a girls swim meet that Jason so kindly worked at. We had our home volleyball match 2 against Duluth East, and the gym was rocking last night. If you didn't get a chance to get there, come out and watch our teams play. The gym was packed, and the girls came out, and you're going to see different, a little more up-tempo volleyball games this year. A lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of great plays being made. And then we also have Greenway Grand Rapids girls tennis, football, and cross countries. And our marching band is in full swing too. So lots of great things happening here before the start of school.
Now, talk a little bit about your experience here so far with Grand Rapids and the activities. You know, you coming from coaching background and stuff like that, and down in the cities and in various places. What do you think has been some of your favorite parts of the job in the community, and some of that stuff?
Well, I can't believe it's been a year already. I can't say that I'm the new athletic director anymore because I'm here now, and last year was just a great experience for myself professionally and learning a lot of things and a lot of things about the community. But firstmost, the school is unbelievably great. It's a top-notch education, and our test scores prove that, and I believe that we've got the best education system in the state, so I'm very proud to be part of that, and I'm very proud to be part of this community. Great support from everybody, the businesses, the parents, and the kids too. And then student athletes are I think that was my bonus for me this year. I knew they would be great because all kids are great, but I feel very blessed to be able to work with these student athletes day in and day out, and it's a great place to live and work.
Well, it seems like the sports. Now back to this kind of the sports thing. It seems like it's kind of changing. You see the season starting early and earlier. How does that kind of affect the everyday activities of your job?
Well, we follow the state high school league. Start dates and end dates and that type of thing, and there are times this summer I'd go peek in the gym and I would count over 50 kids in there doing either playing basketball or doing agility drills or up in the weight room. It's busy in the summer for our student athletes, and the good thing is when August comes they do get a little bit of a break before the fall season starts. So we want kids to have good balance too in their lives with their activities and some time to just go be kids.
Well, another interesting and exciting thing that you were talking about a little bit before we went on the air, the 2013 Hall of Fame and the Grand Rapids Hall of Fame making the comeback.
Yes, that needed to be brought back up again. The last class, I think, went in 2006, so I asked former Athletic Director Wayne Pender to chair this committee, and there's about 10 of us on this committee, and our class of 2013 is a great class coming in. We're going to celebrate them at our homecoming game the end of September. They are Mark DeZenzo, hockey player, Larry Johnson, an announcer for many, many years, I understand. Kelly Kerwin, girls golf. State champion Kim Tui, basketball player. She was one of she was on the team that went to the first girls state tournament and then had a great career at UMD. Kirk Nielsen, another great hockey player from the area, and then Don Kuzinin, our teacher, coach, and official in wrestling for over 50 years. So outstanding class of people, and I hope that community can come out and celebrate them at our homecoming football game, and I want to say that that's September 27th, and I don't have a calendar in front of me. We'll recognize them at halftime, and then we will go to the Eagles Club that night, and then the next day we'll have a nice banquet at the Sawmill at noon.
And quick to touch, seems like it talks about the rich tradition of Grand Rapids sports in a way that for these athletes kind of be recognized for their time and efforts put on during their career and also after their career.
It's the right thing to do. We need to recognize these people that have done such great things for Grand Rapids High School and beyond, in their college days or professional careers, and what they've brought back to the school. So absolutely, we'll continue this as we go forward.
Now, the football team is on their way to Little Falls right now. In fact, I think they're listening by the way my phone is going off. But now, it's been rumored for a while that Coach Botsford sometime might hang it up. Is there any indication to that?
Well, you'd probably have to ask Coach Botsford on that. But I can tell you that they're off to a great start this year. Kids are fired up. They worked hard in the off season to get bigger, stronger, faster, and our numbers in football are growing, and that is a really great problem to have. We've had to emergency order a whole bunch more equipment, and so we can put everybody in the correct helmets and pads. So I think that's something for you two to keep pondering.
Well, I know we've chatted with Coach Botsford a few times about it, and he loves his position right now. Talking with him, being retired, being able to really focus on football right now, and of course him passing off a little bit of the responsibilities of the offense in Coach Matt Pellinen as the offensive coordinator as well.
Yep, great bunch of coaches on his staff. So Botsy's in good hands, and he still loves coming out every day to the field and working with the kids. So so we'll deal with that later.
Well, he does have a very unique defensive coordinator as well to touch on, but it should have been this spring last year, an exciting season as well as there for the softball and baseball teams. Is getting ready to transition. They had a strong summer, and now how's that transition kind of go for you from that mode of the spring right into the summer into the fall now? Yeah,
boy, with that crazy spring we had last year, it was just kind of never ending, and then it ended, and then immediately you've got to already have things in place for fall, your fall schedule. For me, my break is I don't have, evening activities, so I'm able to get in there, start working on schedule, start getting the referees, the game workers. It really never stops. We're already looking at the football season for 2014, so things are always moving forward, and you have to keep up with it.
All right, Ann, well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. Come on out and see the Thunderhawks play.
And we have many great games coming up, especially Thursday night for football. Grand Rapids against Bemidji. You can hear that here on 1320 KLZY at 7 o'clock. Pregame show at 6:45. Well, thanks again, Ann, for stopping by. You're listening to the Sports Issue right here on 1320 KLZY.
Good morning for the Minnesota.
Welcome back to the inaugural edition of the Sports Issue. We thank you for tuning in. We'd like to thank our guests today, Grand Rapids Activities Director Ann Campbell, for stopping by. A lot of exciting things to talk about and going on so far with Grand Rapids Sports. Again, the show will focus on areas as well throughout these episodes upcoming. Next week, our guest, Will Florsheim, the Greenway National Kiwanis Cross Country coach. We plan on having a couple more guests lined up for what should be an exciting issue next week of the Sports Issue, which will be a two-hour long episode, which will be our normal format.
Yeah, today is a shortened format. Just the inaugural, trying to get our feet wet a little bit here. So we'll be on till 8 o'clock here today. And then next week we start 7 to 9, and that'll be every Saturday morning throughout the year. So, tune in here, KLZY and KLZYradio.com for that. It should be good times.
Well, it's very exciting, and it's fun to be able to bring this debut episode to you. We look forward to doing this every weekend, every Saturday morning, same time at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. next week. Again, our guest, G&K cross-country coach Will Florsheim. Looking forward to talking to him about many different things coming up there in Greenway National Kiwanis Cross Country. It should be an exciting weekend next week as well with the wrap-ups from area high school football games. Some big games coming up, just some exciting ones. That Grand Rapids Bemidji one is one that's going to be exciting. Mitchell Hendricks and Bemidji come back. They should be an interesting team this year. You never know really what to expect from Bemidji. They're a high-octane offense, so it'll be interesting what Grand Rapids has to offer for them.
Yeah, they, obviously Rapids has had their season ended by them a couple of times here in recent history. So, they're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder a little bit. And the Thunderhawks, very well prepared. I had a chance to go up and watch a little bit of their practice the other day. And, I got to say, Coach Botsford was standing back, cool, calm, and collected. And Coach Pellinan, of course, all over the field. And it's fun to watch, get back out there. Stand on the field and see those guys at work, and the team looks sharp. They look poised. Like we got to mention again right now, they're on their way down to Little Falls for a scrimmage today. So, it'll be a good go-around for them today, and we look forward to next week with Bemidji.
And it should be an exciting one, and the reason why we're kind of getting things done wrapped up earlier today, we have a very busy day on KOZY. Today I'll be going down to the United Way Lumberjack Breakfast Feed, broadcasting live there, the pancake feed and flip relay contest. So that should be exciting. We have that coming up today on KOZY. So it's a very exciting time. Twins baseball again. They take on Cleveland, and last night the Twins had a rarity.
Swung on, hit in the air to right center field. Stubbs, a long way to go. He won't get there. It's over his head, and it's off the wall. Dozier scores easily. They'll wave Morneau. Stubbs falls down on the track. Willingham chugging for third. It's a 2-run triple for Josh Willingham, and the Twins lead it 4-1.
It was a big win last night for the Twins. They earned a 5-1 victory over Cleveland. That was Chris Atterbury with the call, and it's rare. Josh Willingham, a triple. He's been beat up all year this year, but he helped the Twins last night to a big 5-1 victory. Samuel Diduno with a strong performance, and the Twins, just when you're getting ready, the season's pretty much done for the Twins. You can write them off, but they could still play a big role in this Central Division race. Just when you think after laying 3 eggs to Chicago, they come back and try to make their noise heard by taking 2 of 3 from Detroit, start the series with a victory last night over Cleveland. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today when the Twins go to the mound at 6:05. It's Liam Hendricks versus Zach McAllister, so it'll be an exciting pitching contest there. Hendricks just called up as Kyle Gibson was sent down and demoted to AAA.
Yeah, it was a nice job by the Twins. Diduno picking up the six-inning win. The Twins, like we've said, they're out of it. But they're playing for pride right now, and they play a big role in this in spoiling some people's hopes here at the end of the season, whether it be, knocking people out of playoffs or, some of the positions here and there. So the Twins could play a real spoiler towards that. And we'll see what they can do at the end of the season here. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the offseason. I know there's been talks of if there was no success this year that, Gardy would be maybe out the door. So we'll see if the Polads actually pull that and do something about it. I don't know. It's been rumored for the last 3 years that if there's no success here, then, Gardy's going to be gone. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the offseason for the Twins.
I'm kind of on the road that I think it really needs to be gone. I think his time is running its course. He's done a great job for the most part at times, but this year you could see it at times. The team looks like they may be done. Just to me, I think this is his time to get something fresh in there, and I think their way of going it, they're not playing twin-style baseball. You can see it. There's a few of the games. I went to the game Sunday. They get a guy on. They get 2 guys on, nobody out. They're not even bunting to move the guy over. They're hitting themselves in a weak pop fly and a double play out of the inning. They're not doing the little things that the Twins are used to doing. Somewhere it changed, and it's been hurting them.
I agree with you there. I think Gardy has done a good job, but it's time. It's time to move on, get some fresh blood in there, and and the other thing is we may not see Morneau in a Twins uniform next year either. There's rumors of that. He's going to test the free agency waters this coming off season, and I'm sure there'll be someone that'll pick him up. He's had some injury issues with the concussion over the course of the last couple of years, and I think in that position for the Twins as well, it's time to move on. He's a good player for us, but it's just one of those things that it's time for some fresh look at the Twins here.
Well, with Justin Morneau, he's going to test the free agent market. He was on the waivers. There was no activity there, so it's going to be interesting what kind of interest there is for him. But on our sister station last week on Sid and Dave on 96.9 KMFY, Dave Mona came up with something very interesting. He talked about the interest of the fact that this Twins payroll could be down to 50-some million next year with losing Morneau off the books, losing Nick Blackburn, amongst others, off the books. Probably Doman and Willingham may be gone via trade. So there's a lot of interesting things. What will the Twins do and Terry Ryan do during the offseason free agent-wise? Will they bring anyone in? There's a lot of talks about Buxton and Sano in the minor leagues. They're going to play a big role in the future of the Twins. The Twins' future is 2-3 years away, but here's the thing about Twins fans and what you're seeing right now. They may be frustrated with the product, but Target Field is so nice, they're bringing 30,000 fans into the game, so you don't really get that frustration, and the crowd is there just enjoying the game.
Well, it's such a great atmosphere. I have yet to check a game out there, but I will say that I have played on that field before. It's a beautiful field. The attraction is what it is, and the Twins just need to put a good product on it now.
Well, it's an outstanding place to watch a game. There's really not a bad seat in that place. I've had the opportunity to watch the game in many different views, behind home plate, in a suite, up top. It's all over. It is a great facility, and it's going to be a great place for the All-Star game next year. So definitely looking forward to that. And next week we're going to have an exciting show for you lined up. Again, G&K cross-country coach Will Florsheim will have much more on the show. So it should be a very exciting show. We thank you for tuning in to the first issue of the Sports Issue.
That's right. First one, it's come and gone. It goes really quick. So it'll be nice to have that full 2 hours next week. We'll get a little bit more in depth into the local sports scene as well as the national sports scene.
We thank you for tuning in today to the Sports Issue. Again, make sure to tune in next Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on 1320 KOZY. For Toivo over to my left, I'm Jason Groth. This is the inaugural edition of the Sports Issue on 1320 KOZY.
You've been listening to the Sports Issue with Jason and Toivo on 1320 KOZY and KOZYradio.com. Make sure to tune in next Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Sports Issue right here on 1320 KOZY.